Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Hello and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party. I'm Philip Gilfus, joined by Daniel Prue and Darren Moser. Gentlemen, how has your Star Trek week been? Daniel, how close are we to ending the fabled story of Deep Space Nine?
Pretty close, but first we have to play some baseball with the Vulcans. So that's what we're on right now.
That episode is quite a curveball. See what I did there? It's like war, baseball, hollow sweets. I mean, I'm not dissing it. It's just, it is a bit of a curve.
Yeah, and man, that Vulcan is a real jerk. He's really mean to Sisko, just to be mean. But so I'm excited about it. I love that episode.
See, I'd love Sisko to be like, well, it'd be a shame if your ship wasn't able to leave because my dockmaster did. Like, throw some clout in there, Sisko. Like, you're the head of this starbase. You can do whatever you want.
Well, he could have, because the Vulcan, he's there because his ship needs repairs. So he literally has to get his warp core overhauled, and Sisko's like, oh, you could go to a Vulcan base to do it if you want, if we're not efficient enough for you. And he's throw his weight around a little bit. But,
can DS9 repair warp coils? Because it was a mining ship. Does it have those facilities?
6 years ago, Darren. It's been a lot that's happened since then.
Oh, okay, that's true. Cargo Bay 3 has been turned into the warp overhaul station.
What about you, Darren? What Trek have you gotten to?
Yeah, just enjoying new Lower Decks whenever it comes out. We're not quite done yet with this season, but we had the great Badgie episode of our time, and been enjoying
hey, Darren, you were right.
I can't remember. I can't even remember what my prediction was.
Your prediction was that the ships weren't getting destroyed, that they were just getting teleported or moved somewhere else.
That's right.
And you turned out to be right.
Well, because it giant glowy white shot, and yeah. I like being right. Well, just say it again. No. But I've also been starting my time on the USS Resolute as I've been continuing that game, and I've been enjoying it so far. I'm excited to finish it eventually the next couple weeks, and for us to talk about it.
How did you all enjoy the return of the Binars?
Very silly.
Yeah.
Man, what an episode though, huh? They brought back every single evil creation that they left behind. And there's a lot going on in that episode.
Yeah, it was actually intriguing me how, because it was getting some complex storytelling about where is this going to go? Because I can see the theme that they're picking up all the AI, but which it didn't go anywhere per se. I don't say that in a disappointing way, but they were kind of building it up. You're like, what is this going to be at the end here? But
yeah, because I thought they were going to have a crossover. I thought the Badgie stuff was going to cross over with the other thing, and they never did. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now we have Good G and
yeah,
and the other guy.
Samey and yeah. I mean, I like Lower Decks, but it is, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like it's starting to spend a lot of time on its own stuff, if you kind of know what I mean. Oh, this season's got the Badgie episode because we always have a Badgie episode, and this season's got the Peanut Hamper episode because we always have the Peanut Hamper. And I'm not saying I don't like these characters and I don't like them being referred to, but I like Lower Decks best when it is showing me, we go to DS9, or we go over here, or we go to spend a day on Ryza or something. I enjoy those moments more. The in-depth look into the Packlid they did, or the Carol Freeman reprogramming the sentient, planet computer. Again, like, we have room for both. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying sometimes I feel we're getting these moments, and I understand wanting to play in the Lower Decks universe, but Lower Decks is playing in the Star Trek universe, and when it plays in the Star Trek universe, I like it best. Like, I would be fine if we never saw Badgie again. Like, I think the Badgie story is kind of done. It's like Peanut Hamper. It's like, they feel like they're resurrected at the 11th hour from the last time we saw them, and it's like, nope, that story is not done. Here they're back. So, I mean, what do you guys think? That's kind of my opinion, but do you guys feel the same way?
Well, I've got bad news. I've got bad news for you, Darren, because Badgie is everywhere all at once now. So he's going to be in every episode from now on. So
why is it smiling? What does it know? And Badgie's always alive because it's the phone app game on Lower Decks game.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm always seeing Badgie. All right. Well, this week is New York Comic Con with all the Star Trek stuff. And I say that, I don't think there's actually been any major headlines, which, considering the actor strike is still on, can't expect too much. The writer strike has ended, so that's allowing some things. I think the only sort of headlines, if you will, was that pre-production is beginning on Starfleet Academy Untitled.
Well, there's another big headline: is Prodigy's going to Netflix. That's huge. That wasn't.
That's true. That was not, well, that was not from New York Comic Con. That was
because that's Paramount's not going to talk about that. They're not going to say that in their panel. That's going to be a footnote. But season 1 is moving over, and then season 2 will drop at some point. I think next year. So it's found a home. I don't know if it was the airplane flying over or the letter writing campaign, but I think we want to see more of this. So it's going to be interesting.
And I don't know if you guys have followed this. I haven't gone too deeply into it. I've just seen it out there in the Star Trek ether. But I'm curious to know where it's the thought behind it. That Mike McMahon, if I'm saying his name right, from Lower Decks that we've just been talking about, he's kind of putting out like a yellow alert. Like, you saw what happened to Prodigy. This may happen to Lower Decks. I don't know other than Paramount is always in danger, I suppose. But just like, you don't hear like the Strange New Worlds guys and women, I don't know who's saying it, but you see Mike saying, hey guys, just be, keep supporting actively Lower Decks, because you never know what tomorrow will bring.
Yeah, it would feel to me like Lower Decks would be the least concerned. I feel like it'd be the cheapest to produce, so I'm just I can see a case for Prodigy because doesn't have a huge reach, and it's 3D animation.
But you're applying logic, Daniel. These are not. You can't apply logic to studio executive decisions, because apparently there is none.
You're right. I can't, I guess, but I just hope he's just doing it out of an abundance of caution. It's not something that we'll see come to pass, but because man. The home of Star Trek, really, they're going to have to change their... they're really going to have to change
no more Mount Paramount. You don't get to be there.
Well, one of the other, news, the headlines kind of mushed together between what's actually announced and rumor and whatever. But certainly the, of Star Trek is that Section 31 is wink still in development, whatever the blank that means. There. So I thought what we would talk about, because I think it's fair to say the three of us were not overly excited when 5 years ago. How long was it at this point? Section 31 series was announced, and then a year and a half ago, it was sort of course corrected to we said series. We meant TV movie event. And then the strike happened, and then, sort of like Michelle Yeoh got her Emmy, right? And then
Oscar.
Oscar? Sorry, Oscar.
For Crazy Rich Asians, right?
No, for Everything All at Once.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
she's a big name now. Yeah.
But I mean, she in the press, what little I had read, she still seemed like she was interested in still being involved. So I'm sure she has a schedule. But anyway, all that to say, blah blah blah. Strike-ish over. The same rumors that are saying Star Trek 4 is still happening is about as much as I put into Section 31 is still happening.
And now Discovery's wrapping up. So, like, we all assumed this show was going to be, at least, back when it was a show, that it was going to be at least parallel with, Star Trek Discovery. And now it's a TV movie that might happen after it. Yeah.
Because it sounds like Starfleet Academy is now going to be what you're saying is now going to be the Discovery,
the next
sequel.
show, the next. I mean, we they don't have favorites, but they have favorites. That's just Academy's going to be the next front show, or I don't know. Maybe Stranger Worlds will take that title. I don't know. It's a possibility.
It'll be interesting. So all that to say, I thought we would talk about
who's the Voyager show. Is it? Which one of you is DS9? Which one of you is Voyager?
And I don't even know what that means.
You know what that means.
Well, there's DS9 is the show that nobody is watching. That is, I'm hand quoting better. And Voyager is where all the support was. That's what it was at the time. Right. But anyway. So I thought we'd talk about what, phaser to our head if we have to pitch a Section 31 movie for 2024. We're not even going to do series. We're going to do TV movie event, whatever the heck that means.
90-minute movie.
On Paramount Plus.
So we have to. We don't have a choice. We can't say pass.
No choice.
Okay.
It's basically like...
we will delete all of Star Trek from Paramount if you don't pitch us this movie. That is the threat.
It's basically like Star Trek Enterprise with Rick Berman. Like, we're going to make it whether you're involved or not. So we do it or someone else does it. So
gotcha.
We're going to do Section 31 or else, God knows what.
So I'm naming mine The End of Section 31. There we go. That's it. That's the movie.
I'm already intrigued.
We're not. There's no requirement that we have to base it around the Giorgio character, as they are going to do, may go to doing it. So I don't know. So initial thoughts, what do you when we say Section 31 now? Other than negative stuff, but like what even brings to mind now?
Yeah,
like, what era would you like? What Yeah,
and I think that's a good question, Philip, because I was starting to, when you told us this topic and after we rolled our eyes, I started to think like, okay, Section 31 is put into Star Trek by the writers for a reason. And it's like they're trying, my interpretation is they're trying to say, and this is like Berman era, Kurtzman era, like all Section 31 is, to have utopia, you have to have a dark side because you're human. There has to be some, person behind the curtain that is doing the things that still need to be done to sustain utopia. Now, granted, I would like to believe that is not needed, but that's the direction, they went. And so you have this secret with badges that everybody recognizes organization that is protecting the Federation against its will, kind of, So, okay. So I'm like, okay, so if that's what Section 31 is, I'm like, so what nowadays, what kind of story would we tell that is a, we're doing this for your own good kind of story? And does the story become, maybe we think of like Paradise Lost and, what's the other one? The other one, that two-party, Homefront, where, I think that one, I like that story structure of everyone's like, oh yeah, like Starfleet's doing great. There's a person on every corner and I feel so safe, but it's not Earth anymore. And so I guess what I'm saying is I kind of started to lean into what if the story was more about, Section 31 kind of fading away, or, or us realizing, making the Star Trek choice instead of the, 21st century choice of, we'd rather have our utopia with its flaws than have this, Section 31 Gestapo that is quote unquote protecting it. I don't know. Maybe so. Like basically that story we get in DS9, but bigger and with Section 31 was kind of my initial thought.
What about you, Jay?
I thought, but I think that's a good idea. But I also thought maybe you could use this as a Bashir vehicle. Like you bring Bashir back.
Ooh,
and
maybe,
yeah, and he could, he's been doing whatever he's been doing for the past 30 years or whatever, and then and he's had no contact with Section 31, and then they come back, and maybe through him these sort of events take place. That way, I don't know, just tying it back to old Star Trek in any way I could. And I figured that might be.
So we're making a Bashir and O'Brien buddy cop movie, because I'd be here for that. Because they were the most involved in Section 31 of really any characters.
This sort of Blues Brothers meets Section 31. No, I like that.
We got a shuttle. We got a full dilithium chamber. We're on a mission from the great bird of the galaxy.
I mean, there is always the possibility of the spinoff awaiting the other Boimler, because that's how his story ended, if you remember.
Oh yeah, man, I kind of forgot about that. Yeah.
But no, I like yours. So okay, I like that. That's, all right, if we agree, so it's a Star Trek Bashir. That doesn't have to be the name. It's a placeholder, which means it'll be the name. But it's just the movie event, TV movie. So it's not a series. It's just Alexander said I can do it, but not a whole series, and we're like, that's fine. Good for us.
He's like, I've got 3 weeks this time. I'll film that.
Yeah, and then Cullum is the surprise that we didn't know he was going to be in the movie, but it's going to be a buddy movie, even better. And he comes back to. They're all old as dirt, much older than we last saw them, but we still want it.
And I know you're not pitching this, Chaim, or this idea. You can take that, but like in the way that they usually do these stories now, it would be Molly instead of Chief O'Brien. So like Bashir gets, is paired up with Molly O'Brien now.
Yeah, we don't.
No, I mean, that's
she can be there. She can participate, but she doesn't have to be in place of Chief O'Brien.
I mean, if you want to make it DS9 the movie, which is basically what we're doing, you could have Jake and Molly represent the younger generation. And because they're still older, but they're not.
Jake's probably like in his 50s by now.
I know, you say younger.
Oh, is he? Oh man, you're probably right. Still younger. I mean, yeah.
You could do what was the son's name? Oh, Yoshi. Yoshi as well.
Oh yeah, and didn't Cassidy have another child?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
the other Cisco.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I can't remember his name, but I know he exists.
I mean, he is 1/4 prophet. So.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I think at the.
I mean, joking.
It's kind of like. Oh no, but I see what you're saying though, Philip. It's kind of like in Ghostbusters Afterlife, like
exactly.
You bring back the old characters a bit, but it's still the driving force of the story is new or younger, for better or for worse.
Yeah, but we don't need that, right? We don't, like for Ghostbusters, they do that because they think we can make a bunch of sequels.
Daniel, did you see Series 3 of Picard where they brought in a new Picard?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Did you see that?
I sure did.
Star Trek Legacy is based on the young Picard.
We don't need to do that, is my point. It's kind of tropish, and I'm sort of sick of it. So I say you can have some characters. If it's just gonna be a movie, you don't even need that many characters, right? You don't even need a younger generation.
They got a
even
little
represented.
shuttle. They got an old Goddard class.
Runabout. Old runabout.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Rio Grande has to see one more.
It's always the Rio Grande. It's got the little spoiler on top, so you can tell which one it is. Which I forget. Was that like a sensor or a torpedo launcher? I can't remember what that even was.
That thing on top, it's a sensor. Yeah, it's a sensor.
Sensor
They
pod.
all had a special thing. Like the Antikian, I think, had the torpedo launcher. I can't remember. They all had different ones.
Yeah. Well, although I am thinking, I mean, this is weird, but because the Arrow shuttle had the same set for obviously cost saving purposes, if we want to go full bore, forget the. I mean, I know we'll probably do the Rio Grande because it makes the most sense. But if we're going full crazy, they break in to the Voyager Museum and steal the Arrow Wing out of it, and that becomes our main ship just for the absurdity of it.
No.
Okay, no. Okay. Rio Grande makes way more sense. Take the Rio Grande. Okay, so
when is this set? I mean, obviously past post Nemesis, I know, but like how past? Like, are we like Picard season 3 post or like pre Picard?
Have the AI's uprising happened yet?
Because there are issues in. I'm not saying you have to do Picard, but I'm saying there are issues in Picard that Section 31 would play with, and then if our goal as creating the series is to kill it all, or at least for a while, because Cronenberg in Discovery seems like he might be, the 32nd version of Section 31.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, to kill it all for a while, I guess what event are we kind of going to marry with here? It doesn't have to be the big galaxy event, because Section 31, it will probably be killed by something stupid in the end.
I mean, this is why I hate them doing those events, because if they wrote it, they would ignore it. But we want to somehow justify it. Like, oh, well, if it's post season 3 Picard, they're going to have to talk about the fact that, all these kids died and the Borg almost took over everything.
Right.
But they would just ignore it. If they just would make something else that's universe ending and new up, and then they would just ignore it. So I don't know what we should do.
Ooh.
I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like making it set now, quote unquote now, as in like all the actors from TNG are their age now. So
that's Picard, though.
Right. But what I'm saying is like Bashir and O'Brien are the same age as they were. The same age difference, so the time would be roughly the same.
Well, they're the same age. Like they're from the same generation as the next gen era. So like they all aged at the same time. Yeah.
So it would have to be roughly. I mean, we could obviously, go 5 or 10 years either way with it.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know what the inciting incident would be that would cause the downfall of Section 31.
I mean, I think this is very obvious, and I'll talk about something else. So 2 choices. Here's the obvious one. It's very, as you say, cliche. Assassination or attempted assassination of the Federation president. This would be to explore Federation government, which you don't have to do.
Ooh, nice.
Or it could be like, a council member, if you don't want to feel like that's too trippy.
Ambassador of something, Yeah.
Basically,
Archduke Ferdinand of the Stars,
and if we want to kind of embrace the initial Patrick Stewart contract of non-Starfleet, I'm not saying we have to be like, how he was, but like, we're going to be more civilian government than Starfleet. So it's not like, oh, they assassinated the admiral, or we'll go with like the council member or the president, and we're sticking with that, and we're going to see like domestic people.
That's true. Like, even if it is an attack on the president, like, does Starfleet even have jurisdiction in that? Like, that's like saying, the army is going to investigate the attack. No, we have the Secret Service. We have our own division that is a civilian division. Well, not really civilian, but
and what is the most secret service but Section 31?
No,
wait. So
no,
are we saying in this scenario, are we saying that Section 31 is the one attempting these assassinations? Okay, all right.
Intrigue.
Look,
Intrigue.
We're going to start the movie without knowing that fact, and we'll figure it out in post, because that's what I'm sure we would do.
It has to be a thriller. If you're doing Section 31, it has to be a thriller, because I think it is. It has to be the.
So there was an assassination
I think,
attempt,
you
and then
Bashir's.
and then the president's going
Or
to
an
do some.
assassination. I'll leave it up to you.
Well, I'm thinking, okay, let's say he is assassinated, and then our story takes place between that event and the swearing in of the new president, which we're worried, are they involved in this, or are they just a person? And so, like you said, Philip, that's the intrigue. We have to discover, are they a plant? Are they in the pocket of Section 31, or are they just a good person and they came about from this terrible thing?
Or are they a changeling?
Hit A or hit triangle to choose if you support this. Oh man, you have so many hard decisions to make.
I mean, because, and again, this is a little too involved but I mean, the thing is, like, we're assuming, there must obviously be a vice president. What if there isn't? What if, like, if the president dies, it's like, then the, executive council elects a new president? Like, I mean, that's sort of the intrigue, because then there's candidates, and then which one does Section 31 suspect, or which one is a Section 31 candidate? Because I think Bashir somehow gets involved in his new role.
So,
as sort of.
Do you think we maybe see it from a Section 31 view? Like, we have some new character that's a mid-level whatever in Section 31 who believes in Section 31. Yeah. But he's still, and so it shows like Section 31 isn't this all-knowing, all-powerful entity. Like, it still has to do. Oh gosh, how we got you.
It could be a Section 31 agent that is defecting. And he knows that Bashir did not like Section 31. So he brings this information to him. And that's why they decided
Is Bashir like the head of Starfleet Medical or something? It feels like they're always the head of Starfleet Medical, when we get to them.
He's not qualified. He's disqualified from being head of Starfleet Medical.
Oh, because of the artificial engineering. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be interesting, because, I mean, this is going deep in the woods. Again, when are we setting this? But anyway, because I would think after the Android ban,
the synth ban,
that doesn't affect per se, but I think it doesn't help to then be a known genetically engineered person.
Yeah,
right.
Like, tensions are high.
You are other. We don't like you.
So he may have had to find. Yeah, he may have had to find another. Even if this is after Picard season 3. The events of the preceding, 10 years.
You turned the Rio Grande into like a clinic ship, and he's flying it around from planet to planet, doing the best.
Heck yeah!
But it's like it's not the Pasteur. It's not a hospital ship. It's literally a clinic ship. And he's turned the back into, and he's turned the back of it into like his little surgical suite, and like I can actually see him doing that, and the ship is big enough to support that. That's interesting.
There could be a little joke on how he's now practicing frontier medicine.
Yeah. I used to think the frontier was DS9. Oh boy, that was the main city. When you leave the cities, that's the real frontier.
I would love. If we want to kind of integrate, again, it doesn't have to be a big detail, but as a detail, maybe he's especially concentrating on Romulan refugee areas. So brings in that Picard season 1.
Yeah, maybe he's like, okay, you scattered the Romulans all over these planets, so I'm going to just go from planet to planet and city to city and help. And there's some sort of sign painted on the side of his runabout, because the thing can land.
I like it.
But it's one of those signs that's like a Romulan sign where it basically means like this person is to be trusted. We've within the Romulan community have vetted him, like, some sort of thing like that, where he's not viewed as Starfleet. He's viewed as like a healer, a helper. We're gonna trust him. I think I was gonna ask, what is O'Brien up to? Is he still teaching? I'd love him to still be a teacher at the academy. Professor O'Brien.
He would have retired as quickly as he could have. He is retired. He's happy retired.
No.
Miserable
wait.
retired.
He's still
happy
it
retired.
Because if you're a teacher, then your kid gets in free or some silly thing that's still around. So like Molly,
do they have like 2 more kids after?
And then Molly's kid, like he's just still teaching because it puts her to the front of the list. I don't know. I mean, that's silly because it's not Starfleet.
I feel like he still does have to be in because
he's like an adjunct at best.
No, you know what I would love for him to be. Like he's
like super tenured.
He has, but he's like yes. because he's chosen it to be. I mean, again, this is the future. There is no status,
Right.
And he'd rather just be poking around now that he's an old man. I just keep the academy up. I'm just the caretaker.
Well,
I was head of chief of engineering school, and then I just do this now.
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
He's
That's
happy.
fine.
So he's the new Boothby. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then you could
He's
have
like the maintenance dude. If something breaks down at Starfleet Academy, he's the one that goes and takes care of it.
So he's like running the boiler in the old room, in the old
Basically.
dorm. Yeah.
He's happy.
That's someone's got to do it. And apparently, since we don't have synths anymore to do the menial tasks of boiler maintenance,
Everyone's always blowing up that bridge. He always has to fix stuff.
Nah. Well, and actually, that kind of leads into if we had some younger people to help drive the story, they could just be cadets in the academy, and it'd be fun if they had kind of that realization of like, oh, you are the Miles O'Brien. Like you mined the wormhole. You shrunk down to the side. Like all these crazy things. He says like, yeah, but
some transporter part is named after him now. I don't know what it does.
Oh,
but some
yeah.
part is named after.
Everybody just calls him Chief around campus. So he's got a big bushy beard. And
he's got to start with a big beard,
Big hat.
giant beard, and or both him and Bashir have
Belt.
giant beards. And when they cross each other, they're like, "Let's go shave." Like this is not a good look.
Yeah, because I can feel like if this is trope, but there's a reason why it's a trope. I feel like Bashir would have like a younger, obviously younger than him, Romulan nurse, and that's his sort of sidekick,
keeping him
have someone to
along.
talk to, and then
are
Bashir
we may be forgetting someone that might unless we don't want to include her for some particular reason. But,
Are we not including Keiko at all?
No,
is that what you're saying?
Or are you saying
Keiko would
that?
she'd have to be there. She would have to be there, I think.
Oh, you're talking about Esri.
I'm talking about Ezra, yeah.
It didn't work out.
It was
That's fine.
It was
I'm
a
fine with that.
It was a one season fling.
3 years, but still doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. I'm fine.
She
I'm okay
made-
with that.
She went into botany,
Apparently,
and
Captain.
O'Brien's like, "I feel you. I get she's off on some planet learning about plants. Counseling thing didn't work out."
Well, and again, I don't.
Or-
I know none of this.
Gosh. So no, I just think, I mean, not that we can include her, we kind of laugh it off, but like, honestly, it kind of makes sense if it was a husband-wife team clinic. He's doing the medicine, and she's counseling Romulans who lost their planet. Like, they're not doing well.
I would think, and again, I'm not for the in the future everyone's miserable, but if in the storyline that Bashir
O'Brien must suffer. That is the rule.
but Bashir kind of self-exiled during the synth ban, and so that may have broken them up. Either he left her to protect, or because I can't be part of this society anymore. You could do that. Again, I don't want him to be miserable, but that's a little bit of a realistic thing in this.
Well, and it kind of plays into just like Picard, just like the synths and all that. Like the destruction of Romulus is a major event. Like it changes a lot. And so we could see how does it change Bashir.
And I think a lot of people had to make choices about, do you stay with Starfleet that's not protecting them, or do you, like Picard, resign and do your own thing?
I now know why O'Brien is the groundskeeper and doesn't care anymore, because Starfleet shifted to the cookie cutter assembly program and made the cut and paste fleet. And he's like, you know what? I'm out. I'm just, we're not even
boring.
We're not even.
You better not network all those things together.
Yeah, you better not network.
I told him.
And then it's kind of like a wink and a nod, is like, to the fans, like, yeah, we know this wasn't a good. It's like, this is what we had to do to get the shot done.
You don't use Borg technology.
You just don't.
Don't tell that to Seven or Janeway.
She'd probably agree.
That's why Voyager's a museum and not an active vessel anymore.
We just couldn't get it all out of there. And look, the one day we set up the museum, all the Borg stuff went crazy. So imagine. But
well,
what do you think? I was just gonna say, what do you think, Daniel? Like, how's the story going? Do we need some corrections? Are you on board with?
No, it's good. I like sort of the setup. So whatever inciting incident happens, Bashir's off doing his own thing. He's not in Starfleet anymore, and he goes and he needs something from O'Brien, somebody he can trust.
Right.
So he goes back, and they get together, and then they go off and do their thing. And
the code word is Waterloo. You know.
No, the code word is Sloan.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I don't know if that's too
We're not
much.
Bringing him in. We're just
You say that. I'm not saying he's alive, but like there could be a hologram of something.
I thought of that too, but no, I don't want I have all the memories of Salone and holograms. Like no.
Well, I'm in a recording. I didn't mean like a EMH or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, because like Darren said, I want it to be like
fun.
Because well, no, just because I want it to be an ideological victory. Like I want Section 31 to be defeated ideologically because we want that Star Trek utopia. So I want it to be the character of Bashir and O'Brien, like their optimism and their hope that beats it. So I don't want it to be. I don't know how you do that exactly.
But like we were talking about we have a Section 31 character who is involved, and I think the ideological win could be them choosing to not be with Section 30. Like, if everybody in Section 31 eventually just realize that this is not the way, that is how you beat Section 31, is it has to self-terminate. You can't blow it up or, although now I kind of want to see she's dead.
Darren,
She's dead.
they can blow up a lot of things in Star Trek. I'm not sure if you're aware of
That's
it.
true.
Well, and I think the rough outline I'm thinking, and I don't have to be married to it, but at least to get it going, it's like the assassination, whether successful or not, it doesn't matter to me, happens, enough to shake. You'll say it's successful because, like I said, that's cool. Because
I still think it. Yeah, so I think that in between the death and the new one, that's the time window of our story. So,
and then that agent seeks out Bashir because Bashir, it was such a close part of Section 31, but it's not a part of it anymore. So he's sort of like a middle part. So he goes to Bashir's the only person, and then with some evidence or data or something, and then it goes to a point where O'Brien, bizarrely, and Daniel, you can back me up, was also an intel agent because he went on that weird ass, random
weird one episode thing, but yeah.
So technically, O'Brien has intel credentials or access, and of course he was with Julian during the Sloan incident, and so that's sort of like something trips that. Like Julian's like, well, I need Miles because he's the only person.
What if the president was assassinated while visiting a Romulan refugee camp on some planet?
Is that going to inflame?
Yeah. So, and that's why Bashir's there. He's there because he's on his USS Clinic runabout. The Rio Clinic
is like Rio Grande penciled over with USS Medical.
No, it's Rio Grande MD or something on the that's
the title of the. There you go. That's the show.
Rio
right
Grande
MD. Terrible name. It's a terrible name.
It's like Quincy MD, right?
Oh man, but or just the Starfleet chevron's been crossed out and they've just painted a medical symbol over everything. It's blue and
have medical tricorder will travel.
Yeah. So I like that because then that's he's the president's not at Starfleet headquarters or wherever. He's not in Paris. He's out because it totally seems like a thing a president would do. Is going and checking on the refugees, and then he gets killed, and it's that's not a good thing. It's probably a bomb, because that way it's not like we can point to who killed them. We don't know why and who.
Because the stereotype of Section 31 would be glad about the fall of Romulus because it's a power off the board.
Right.
Federation can take over, quote unquote. Who knows their nefarious agenda.
Yeah, they could be seeking to just further destabilize the situation. Yeah, that makes sense.
because I think the ending that and not literally, but figuratively, the ending I want is, especially in a post-Picard world, is Starfleet or the Federation, and again, not membership like we talked with the Ferengi, but hey, we need to help these refugees. We abandoned them, but now we know better. We learned our lesson, and then that's, our strength is not in, not from a political era, it's not in, ignoring refugees, but it's in helping these, and then making them part, because I mean, from just a real politic is like, look, we don't want them to be like, hate us and grow up and be terrorists. And, it's better to like take care of them now.
It's funny. I don't know why I just made the connection. We're basically describing the story of Winter Soldier. Like, there's a lot of allegories of like, this is what S.H.I.E.L.D. was meant to be.
Oh.
This is what Starfleet was meant to be, is like not the police of the galaxy, but helping. And maybe Starfleet feels bad about the fact that they feel like they dropped the ball on this particular humanitarian mission of saving Romulus, because they didn't. Like,
I feel like a way to like tie that together and make it like a really strong victory, like a way that you could say that they defeated Section 31 would be like Starfleet to acknowledge the existence of them and also accept responsibility for their actions.
Yeah.
So, and
Bringing
say that, hey, these guys are real. They're part of us, and we need to take care of it. Like, this is not something that we're going to tolerate any longer. You can like have that sort of a thing, like, and be like, these guys are the reasons that we've been such jerks to you, but we have to accept responsibility as
and
well.
maybe that's the person being elected as or sworn in as president. Like, that's her. I don't know what's her, but that's their that's their thing that they've said, like behind closed doors. They're like, when I'm brought into power, the first thing I'm doing is shedding the light on Section 31. And they're like, oh, wait,
yeah, can't do that.
It could be and this is maybe too complicated.
And that president is Molly O'Brien.
No, there you go. Boom, boom, boom.
Anyway, sorry, what were you saying?
But like, they could. Well, I was just saying the platform of this new person, candidate, is rechartering the Federation. In other words, literally taking out Section 31.
Make Starfleet better again. I'm just kidding. I had to.
Like, redoing the charter. I mean, not just because of that, but that could be one of the things.
Right.
Is that...
Right. Literally take it out of the charter.
Section 31.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Because then they're like, but we're in we're right there. Nope. We took that out. Oh, okay. But how are we going to recruit people if we can't point to that and say, look, we're totally supposed to be here?
We're just going to fiddle around. It'll be Section 84 now, just because of how we're reading.
Yeah. The Section 31 Accords, all that stuff.
Different color badges now, but like, because I could see, because I think that goes to a lot of everyone's or many people's, like, is the Federation too old? Which I don't think it is, but I think there is argument that
it needs to reborn.
A little tinkering, to the 200-year-old, however old it is at this point, charter that maybe.
No, I like that. And it's a smaller story. Like, it's a big event, but we're just on one planet, maybe a couple planets, but like we're mostly on this refugee planet with Bashir and O'Brien and the new, we're jumping around because we see there's like three stories going on. There's the candidate who's trying to become the new president. There's the Section 31 junior officer has doubts. And there's Bashir and O'Brien trying to do good. And everything swirls around those three.
And at the end, the runabout is leading. And then suddenly the Section 31 fleet comes. And then at the last minute, the copy and paste Starfleet fleet.
Or we could answer. We always have to answer a question. So the runabout I thought you were going to say leading a ship, and it was it's the Enterprise E, and we see what happened. What did you do, Worf? What did you do?
No space battles. There's going to be 0 space battles in this one.
Yeah, one little space battle with the runabout. That'd be that. Yeah, what did you do?
It could be in the middle. It could be in the middle, and it's only one ship versus one ship. and no fleets are
runabout.
getting detonated.
No
we never
fleets.
see runabouts move up and
Yeah.
down. It's always just flat. Like those runabouts are the heaviest, bottomest heavy ship I've ever seen. They do not ever wiggle any. Like the Enterprise D has done backflips at this point.
Like, no, but seriously, if the other ship is bigger, the runabout should work on the fact that it is so small and maneuverable. It could fly. It's so close. It can fly so close to it and through the superstructure.
And right before it does it, who's ever at the helm says, "Now you see why they call them runabouts."
Got to run about before you can walk about.
Do you know that-
Boop boop.
The dramatic space battle will happen against the Vengeance A or B or C,
Yes.
whatever one of them.
Section 31
gosh.
flagship.
Yeah. It's like it's a kilometer long, and
How come that ship is all black? I don't understand.
Oh
because
no,
it's evil.
from the Jupiter station.
I don't know. It could be that
Shipyards,
one ship
secrets.
from Picard. I forget the name of it, but the one that was hit by Rose shuttle that looked pissed when it got back up. Like,
Oh.
that was an interesting class with the deflector pod beneath it.
But yeah, and I think obviously there's more that we'd hit. It's about because again it's so big, and again Winter Soldier might be a good thing to watch, to get inspiration because like how is Bashir and et al. Going to like out everyone?
Right.
Because it has to be those things like everyone's black badges suddenly decloak everywhere across the Federation.
Oh my god. Well,
Oh my
maybe
God,
he doesn't.
It's you.
But that's the thing. That's the same. Like, there's no kill stroke. There's no magical button to push. It has to come from within, and so he can't destroy Section 31. It has to be through the government and through choices.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a little too far, but like maybe that Section 31 agent we follow, like maybe there are other agents like them that are kind of starting to doubt it and they're not as brainwashed as we think. And so from within, there's a faction that is like, no, I was given this gun and told to point it, or phaser, sorry, given this phaser and told to point it at the Federation's head. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Because I don't think that's the way to do it. Now, obviously, in their recruiting, like their goal is to only recruit people who do believe that. But I have to imagine some people are changing their minds.
Yeah, Darren, it makes me think a lot about the Psi Corps.
Yeah.
It's very great.
It kind of is.
There's
Yeah.
a real reason to have it.
Yeah.
But then there's the people who
Abuse
turn
it.
to the Gestapo, and then, true believers versus,
No, that's a really good analogy of a really good show. So.
Cool. So, yeah. Any other, I mean, we have it pretty loaded. Is there any, 5-second cameos that you would love to pull out of nowhere? We could do it, Jake. I don't know how it fits in, but we could do it.
I mean, it's basically the DS9 movie, right? Like we've all agreed. Like this.
I was thinking early on, and then I dropped the idea that you could get Garrick involved somehow, but maybe just a cameo from Garrick.
Yeah, he would take over. So
He's on a screen at some point, and they call him, and that's it. He's never actually in the same place as them. He knows somebody. Well, or maybe they call him and they're like, well, you were able to topple the Obsidian Order, so how do we do that with ours?
I mean, that would just be the
is
perfect
there a
moment.
playbook?
Bashir's like, oh, I know. I promised myself I would never make this call. Dear Bistolian.
It's like, my dear doctor.
I don't even
And
know how,
Morn's got to show up somewhere.
I don't even know how Cardassia is in the 25th century. Like,
We don't know. We haven't heard anything about
Post-
Cardassia.
I'm guessing they're like a democracy at some point by now. Like Damar's death and
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like he inspired that political change. But that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe it's like the Cardassian Republic at some right now or something like that. Which I mean, it was a union before, so I don't know what's really different about that.
Sounds Centauri.
Yeah, I don't know other. I mean, again, we're talking about God blow to destroy Section 31. Just have Cisco come back and Q snap his way with the prophet powers, and I don't know.
Yeah, I think you could have fun with lines that you don't have to actually show. Like, oh, do we need to talk to General Kira over it.
General
Not,
Kira.
no, we can't bother her. Like, I don't know.
Right. First Minister Kira or something. She's got some.
Yeah.
So guess what? Yesterday, the Bajoran government's finally the government. They're not provisional anymore. Yay! It's been 20 years. You know, it took that long.
They're now in the second phase of membership entry.
Yeah. Jeez.
I think the Ferengi are ahead of them at this point.
We thought they were dragging their feet, but when they heard Ferenginar might make it in before them, they doubled down on that application process to get it. Cool. Or what is it?
All right. Well,
like second contact or like lower decks when they have to choose their communication number. It's a big deal. They're like, what number Federation planet are you? Well, we were coming up to a nice round number, but Ferenginar is going to sneak in and take that number if we don't get our application in first. It's very Section 31-y.
Cool. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, there's lots to play with. I think that is a good something that I think we could all get behind. Limited DS9.
It's not what we're going to get, basically. But hey,
yeah, I know.
Not even close.
Well, we're not going to get a Section 31 movie, so I don't even know why either.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No one's putting any Latinum down on that. We're not.
They're like, no, guys, it's in pre-production now that the writers are back. I'm like, they were back before, and there was still didn't think it was going to happen. Yeah. But anyway.
Unless you made that part of the deal of ending the strike, you got to write this particular movie.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, any final thoughts? Or do you have secret thoughts? Where did the black badges come in? How, make them make sense? Even oh, we just use it at the headquarters. Make it make sense.
Well, it's clearly that's a different organization. I mean, they say Section 31, but it's run very differently than how it's run later on. So, because they have ships and stuff, and that does not seem to be the way that it's operated in the other treks. So,
All right. Well, Darren, if folks want to know where they can find your secret archive, where can they find you?
They can go to section31.com. No, they can go to drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI.
And folks, if Daniel, you want to tell folks how they can copy and paste their own fleet, where they can find you.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's lazy and boring. But you can find me at OneUpDan.
And if folks want to know about how that crazy Sloan rank he wore that one time with the 4 pips in the line underneath it, they can find me on Instagram at CAPTSFUFP. All right. I'm Philip Gilpus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And I'm Darren Moser.
Stranded here, or are we, on City Alpha 3?